Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's doing good today. Hope everyone is having a wonderful week. Happy Friday, everybody. I am very, very exhausted. I was almost going to be doing a Dynasty Warriors 5 stream, but apparently we ended up getting some gameplay trailer for Dynasty Warriors Origin, of course, the new game that came out. And we'll be looking at that, looking at some other stuff as well involving Origins and everything too. So hopefully the gameplay is good, and hopefully I didn't get to see everything in terms of the news. Some of it kind of bummed me out. Other stuff I'm confused about, but some of the stuff seems pretty alright. So I ended up learning more of the news first, and then ended up, and now we're going to be seeing the trailer. So a lot of the people who ended up getting that news saw the trailer first, and are like, okay, well, at least I saw the trailer, and I'm feeling good about that at least. And then there was me who didn't get to watch the trailer because I wanted to watch it either live or for a video. Obviously, I can't do it for a video. If you know, you know. I'm going to the beach tomorrow, so I don't have time to edit or anything because I got to get packing and everything. So we'll be reacting to it. We'll have it playing on in the background and everything too, meanwhile. But I'm a little brain dead today. Fridays are usually not my best days in terms of streaming. So the big thing is I'm a little confused and a little disappointed so far. Not with the gameplay. I haven't seen anything involving the gameplay yet. Nothing involving gameplay. When I see this, I'll either be excited for it or something else. I'm not sure yet. But in terms of at least seeing, hearing some of the news and stuff, that did put a bit of a downer on my excitement for the game. but hopefully the gameplay will boost that back up because like I said, I technically don't really have like a lot of motivation right now, but hopefully this will make it better. Yeah, hello everybody, welcome on in. Hope everyone's doing good today. And like I said, happy Friday and all that stuff. Yeah, they ended up doing like a big, I think it was like for an article, and they interviewed somebody, and they gave a lot of answers of what to like expect and everything, and what not to expect. But yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Sure, we are almost at 5.5K. A lot of people ended up joining in from, through the Lubu video. I greatly appreciate that. I'll go through it first with no pauses, and then we'll go back and check it out again with pausing. There were different videos for it too. This was honestly the first one that popped up for me, so this one also had like the best quality, so I said screw, we'll check out this one. But I did leave one down in the description from one that Wildcat ended up posting on their channel. Go ahead and check it out if you want to, without any commentary on my end. And be sure to leave them a sub if you haven't. They make really great videos. And if you want to see the news article translated, at least the stuff that has been translated so far, you can go ahead and check that stuff out too in the description. And go follow BlackKite, the one who translates this shit. So, I noticed from a couple screenshots that showed up on Discord, they are definitely reusing a few of Dynasty Warriors 9's like designs and stuff like that. Yo, it's Guan Yu! Oh, he doesn't have a mustache. It's young Guan Yu. It's not really super jarring, but it feels almost as jarring as seeing young Tadakatsu from SW5. Oh, sorry, clicked off of it. It's very weird without the mustache. Who's this dude? Yo, Eve? Remixed? Oh, yeah. That's Zheng Jiao? Damn, he hot as fuck. Yeah, he is attractive. Holy crap. All right, here we go. Bro, Zheng Jiao looks so different. Jesus, couldn't you say? Oh, yeah, so I know they also put in like a parry system in this game now, too. And I did hear at least it's not the Dynasty Warriors 9 combat. But they are doing something a little different, I think? I'm not entirely sure. Zheng Jiao, you say? Twirls hair. Scenery-wise, it looks massive upgrade from Dynasty Warriors 9. Granted, these are on new-gen consoles, so it makes sense. I mean, technically, we always had a young Zhao Yun. What we need is an older Zhao Yun in later stuff. Granted, I don't know how far this goes into. Can I side with the yellow turbans for reasons? Whittle's fingers. And I'll let this play on the side as well if people want to check it out. And again, it's also done in description if you want to check it out as well. Oh, damn. Bro, how is this Zheng Jiao? This isn't my crazy priest. He's hot. That's so crazy. Oh my god! That whole force is pouring in. Holy shit. Yeah, so far they cooked. He looks really good. That's true. It could be Bao or Leon, unless everyone's for sure know that that is Zheng Jiao. It'd feel weird if they showed him instead of Zheng Jiao. So they have some like cut in on the left side of them just looking to the right for their dialogue, and it's not so much in the way. Like it's usually just like dead center. It is confirmed Zheng Jiao? Okay. Oh fuck. Oh, okay. So is this you playing with like, because I know they said you're not going to be able to play solely only as you're not going to be able to just play with them solely. You're mostly going to be focused on your main character from what I saw in the news or from the article, which again we'll check out later that people's mentioned to me. But you do get to play with them a little bit, which is actually good. Okay. Dude, it's so jarring seeing a young Guan Yu. So many soldiers on screen too, it's crazy. Yeah, you can definitely tell way different looking combat from 9 in a good way. Oh, it's lagging? Okay, I guess that was meant to happen. Oh, so that was Night Owl's thumbnail. It was Guan Yu. The side shot of Guan Yu when he was doing the Muso. Okay. Yep, so it's the glorious beard, yeah. So Tori, welcome up. We're doing good. Oh, right. They'd mentioned you're going to be able to make your name at least. That just makes it even more confused. I'll get into that. I'll get into that soon. I'm going to let this play out first. Or I'll only say it here. They mentioned in the thing, you'll be able to name the character, which already was... I get it, because apparently this character is supposed to have amnesia. This character of yours is supposed to have amnesia, I think they said. And you're able to name the character, obviously, because the character has amnesia. They don't know their original name. And so technically, in a way, it's your OC, but at the same time, it's not, because this is a character with its own story and everything with its own identity. He just doesn't remember it. And it's set only to being able to have this male character. You will not be able to customize the character, which really fucking sucks. Yeah, Yuan Shao shows up later, and it's literally him in his Dynasty Warriors 9 design. I don't know. I don't know what the point is. I really don't. Well, he mentions it in the translated article, which we'll check out later. But I at least wanted to mention that, because they brought up the whole thing with changing the name and everything, or making your own name. You can't even customize the outfits or anything either, which really was a huge blow. That's one of the reasons why I'm like kind of upset with the game right now. Is that because that was a big driving thing for me, being able to have a customizable character in a Dynasty Warriors game. But apparently, and they were bringing it up a lot. Like they were like, we should do, like a lot of people were like going back and forth, mentioning, oh, this feels very what the Romance of Three Kingdoms games esque, or even like Total War. Just like this, there's Yuan Shao on the left there. If this motherfucker's Liu Bei, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. I will be pissed off. Sorry, I meant to take off my OC. There you go. Yeah, it's apparently character. This could be potentially some character, a historical character, or it could like that just they're writing with their own way, which they've done before, or it's just a completely fictional character, but they want to bring their own spin on it. I don't know. They mentioned it's very late in development now. I don't know if they'll be able to change it at this point, which kind of upsets me. Okay, this looks like the Dongzhuo. Oh, this is probably Sishui Gate, from what I saw in that picture someone sent. Yeah, there's Yuan Shao, still in his Dynasty Warriors 9 design, as far as I know it is. I think Cao Cao's on the left, Dun Jian's on the right, Yuan Shu. And again, we'll go through all this again when I get through the gameplay. And I think they said this one was Li Jue and Hua Xiong, I think they said. For the two on the right there. Yeah, there was also, I think, Chen Gong as well. Yeah, we also had Chung Pu. So I think some of them, either this is going to be placeholder stuff too, or some of them just are going to keep their Dynasty Warriors 9 designs. God, no, I'm not playing. I wish. This is a video that like everyone's posting, and I was unfortunately at work, so I didn't get to see this sooner. So they got rid of Sun Jian's freaking helmet again. I'm sad, but he does look fucking hot as hell. he looks amazing. I would have doubted it if it was Liu Bei, honestly. Dude, also this battlefield is huge. That battlefield is huge. We'll go back and look at the designs. Don't worry. I'm gonna go back and actually like pause at some points. All right, so now he's rocking the Po Dao, I guess. So he had just the sword, I think, at first, and then it's the Po Dao. Damn, that morale is rough. So again, I'm assuming this isn't just play. I feel like this isn't placeholder stuff. Some of this stuff, like design-wise. If I'm wrong, that's fine. I never really, like I mentioned before, I never really had a huge issue with people reusing designs, honestly. So long as it, maybe so long as they like add a couple more designs later on. So I'm not actually going to complain about that if they did reuse a couple assets for like generic officers and soldiers and such. The soldiers also, I don't really give too much of a damn about. Like if they have like if they have the same design from 9, it's not the end of the world. They'll probably just honestly look even better in this game anyway, which so far they do. Is this Wall of Fate? Are they remastering the songs? Yo, that's sick. Dude, this map looks massive. Look at all the soldiers. Holy shit. That's awesome. That is awesome that they ended up remastering the songs. Yeah, this is Wall of Fate for 4. That's so good. I'm seeing a L3 R3 at the bottom left there by the gauge. Dude, there's so many soldiers. Yeah, there's Yuan Shao in his 9 design, I think. I don't know if he got tweaked or anything. I don't really pay too much attention to Yuan Shao's design. There's Yuan Shu over there. I can't see who that's on the right, though. We'll probably get better views of them. That motherfucker really was Zheng Zhao, bro. Goddamn. He was hot as hell. So we just went through a hell of a time skip. We just went from the old turbines over to Gulao Gate now. Dude, there are so many fucking soldiers on the map. I kind of hope too that they are placeholders. I don't mind it for generics, but I do mind it for the playable characters. I feel like they should, especially. We'll get further into it again as well. This is technically supposed to be some sort of like mainish line game. I think they mentioned that it is supposed to be a mainline game, and they were just contemplating if it was actually going to be called Dynasty Warriors 10 or Dynasty Warriors Origins. So technically, I think in a way this is supposed to be 10, which that's interesting. And we'll get further into that later. We'll probably go over the news first after this trailer's done, and then we'll check out. We'll go through the gameplay again a second time and just talk a little bit more about it. I think it might just be the lighting or just the bad bit rate, but I think it was still at I think his hair was still white. Just the trailer again. Did we already go through all that? That's crazy. Let me check out the other one just to be safe. Because this was one I just randomly clicked on. I did not feel like it did not also feel like 14 minutes passed. Some of the stuff looks cool, but it did not feel like that was enough. Check, well, but I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, it wasn't too much. It at least just showed a bit more with the gameplay and everything, but it looked alright for what it was worth. Wasn't groundbreaking or anything like that. It was mostly just, again, just being able to see the cool visuals of all the game, like all the soldiers and everything, and being able to see like a smidge of like the combat and all that stuff too. But minus that, wasn't anything too groundbreaking. I'll get that ready. But in the meantime, we'll at least go back over to this. But yeah, so we got some stuff to look at, and again, you can check out the person in the description. It is BlackKite. They're the one who does all the news, like does all the stuff and everything for translations, usually with this kind of stuff. So if you want to check them out, give them a follow. Please feel free to do that. We'd greatly appreciate that, giving them support and everything. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go through this whole thread. I think this is pretty much everything. That muscle mommy thumbnail, though. All right, let's go through this real quick, and hopefully we'll be able to get some. I'm really fucking hoping, because Twitter is fucking crazy. Hopefully we don't get any, like, bad stuff popping up on the random comments thing. Because sometimes there's some very out of their comment stuff, or ad stuff, if you catch my drift. But alright, let's at least go through everything real quick, and this one is based off of the... This is based off the name of how they, if the name is going to be called Origins or instead Dynasty Warriors 10. So obviously this is 4Gamer is the one who was asking all the questions. Show is the one who was answering everything as well. I think what was it, P-Show? I think people called it P-Show. Yeah, hopefully we see Cheaton. Cheaton's fine. Cheaton is perfectly fine seeing that. But anything else, please no, God. Let me just make sure there's also no like screen. Okay. The game does have the main flow of DW series, but we named it Origins due to the concept of returning to the roots. Of course, there were suggestions to make it Dynasty Warriors 10, so this was a result of repeated arguments inside the company. I feel like we're going to be hearing that quite a bit. I'm not even going to lie to you. Oh, Show P. Okay, there you go. What is Cheaton? Oh, you're in for a treat. It's Japan's crazy mascot. I feel like there is something like a fixed concept in the DW series, both from our creator side and the player side. Tangibly speaking, it's something like keep on adding characters while following through the prequels. Since this game has different image from such numbered titles, we went with Origins. So, technically, I feel like in a way, it's the Japanese name. SSM9 is the Japanese name. Because they didn't count the very first Dynasty Warriors game as Dynasty Warriors. They called it something different, I think. Or maybe they did call it that, but Dynasty Warriors 2 is technically Dynasty Warriors 1 for Japan. But Dynasty Warriors for us was Dynasty Warriors, yeah, Shinsen Goku Musou 9. So it should just be, yeah, I guess in a way, yeah, we are getting the same number, yeah. All right, and then we're going to go over to this one here. So, yeah, it looks like this is supposed to be just a mainline game. It is supposed to be its mainline game. Air quotes, technically. Dynasty Warriors 10, in a way, sort of. But instead, they decided to just go with this. All right, here's the next one. This is the definition going back to its roots. The fact that Dynasty Warriors 9 is a tactical action, exactly because it is a game that simulates the whole battlefield. You could have various ways of playing it, and different story developments will appear every time, keeping this kind of strategy element and degree of freedom in playing this tactical part of the tactical action. For the action part, we're focusing on the exhilaration of 1 versus 1,000 as we pile through the numbered games. It's been evolving into an exciting game where you beat up enemies in explosive waves. I feel like Dynasty Warriors 7 and later titles in particular have remarkably taken this direction. However, in Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3, we made important the feel of 1 versus 1,000 on top of surpassing the anxiety that you may get beaten. Very true. I will at least say that. Very true. God damn, it is very true that in Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3, you do get that anxiety of getting your ass whooped in the game. That's a very fair point. I'm liking that they mentioned that kind of thing as well, with potentially, you know, getting your ass whooped while playing this game. Therefore, Origins will have enemy officers and many soldiers appearing as threats, and beating them up will make you feel good. Those are the roots we aim to get back into. It may feel close to DW 3 through 6, which I was also involved in. Dynasty Warriors Origin will focus on the storytelling around the events in Romance of the Three Kingdoms. While manga comics and dramas depict a story in the hundreds of episodes, games should depict it at a very fast pace. The appeal and interesting factors of Romance of the Three Kingdoms that we originally wanted to convey ended up being spilled over no matter what. But in Origins, we are doing various kinds of deep depictions to make sure everyone gets to know and enjoy the actual appeal of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It'll be a game that will give knowledge to people who don't know about Romance of the Three Kingdoms too much, and then they can enjoy it too. So yeah, this is going to be very more, I guess, in a way, sort of like Dynasty Warriors 9. Maybe they're going to take a different direction of how they portray the storytelling, though. Hopefully, because I know that storytelling in 9 was very rough. So I don't know, maybe they'll make it more interesting, animated type cutscenes and everything like that, which would be fine. I'd be personally fine with that. Time for Archer and Bowman PTSD. Yeah, that would be cool if we can make Lubu a threat again. We'll have to wait and see on that. Didn't get any gameplay, unfortunately, involving him. Origins is exactly the result of us thinking that we should do to make overseas people and those who are not too well versed in Romance of the Three Kingdoms know the story's appeal. The protagonist having an amnesia is also a reason for that. And here we go with the main character. As he, which also equates to the player, does not understand its situation, the surrounding people will explain it thoroughly. Furthermore, we will also properly depict the character pictures and situations. Up until now, we jumped between famous episodes like from the Yellow Turban Rebellion to Hulao Gate, while skipping explanations for the events in between. The presence of basic knowledge, or the lack thereof, will thus change the degree of enjoyment. But this time, we will thoroughly depict it as a story. With that meaning, I really want Origins to be played by people who don't know Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Hold on, I gotta read this shit because I can't read this shit at all. I gotta get my glasses on. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be very slowly jumping into seeing what they refer to. Oh my god, I can see everything now. It's so nice. Okay, just want to make sure I'm not like missing any pictures or anything as well. You talked about overseas players just now. Do you have something for me? Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And also, if I'm sorry if I'm butchering up a lot of reading because I am insanely tired. I'm sorry. Fridays are my worst days, next to Tuesdays. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is a major title in Japan and Asia, but there is a gap in enthusiasm with other countries and regions such as Europe and the Americas. When we released DDB3, we received responses like, "I already did this Yellow Turban Rebellion in the prequel DDB2, so why is it here again?" We didn't see that coming. Even with historical stuffs, repeating the exact same episodes may be a rare thing. For example, FPS game series have titles with different settings like World War II and the Vietnam War. That's right. There are many kinds of games out there in the world, but the action games with the same stories every time that I know are just Dynasty Warriors. That meaning Dynasty Warriors is also a one and only game in the world. That's also why there is a uniquely high difficulty in creating it. We will dig deeper into the stories and origins so that people would not say, I've seen this episode in previous game too. We will not change the story in a weird direction, but we'll rather aim to have them enjoy the story and characters in a fresh condition. So yeah, they're going to try their best. Ooh, it's just a little screenshot right there. But yeah. Which to a degree, I completely understand that kind of factor as well. It really is just the same story being repeated over and over again. Maybe with each new game, they give us a slight little bit more of story, but at the end of the day, it was mostly the same game over and over again in terms of its storytelling. So I completely understand where they're wanting to go with that. They want to explain it a lot better. They want to be able to explain every single little detail that is part of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms novel and be able to present that to everybody else. That way everyone can be like, oh, so now I get the reason why. Instead of jumping from like one situation and going to another one with nothing being explained in between, it's like, what the hell just happened? Or at least it's getting explained very briefly in the video games. So I think this is definitely a really great way to be able to get people involved with the novel and everything like that, and be able to make it seem like this could be an even more, because I don't know how far, because right now all they've shown is the Yellow Turban Rebellion and the Dongjua stuff. So at the very moment, I would at least say, I like the way they're going with it. This could actually make it into a proper episodic thing. Again, I don't know how far in they're going to go with it. Maybe they're only going to go at a certain point of the game. But yeah, like a character dying off screen or something, which is just like never fucking explained. It's just like, oh, they're dead. It's just like, huh? It could be a great way to add drama, make it more episodic. I think it's a really good idea that they're starting to do that. And again, I think this could be something where they can like make it to where they can have what they did with Samurai Warriors 5. They stopped after, what was it, Honoji? And then they have that whole other rest of the Sengoku period to talk about in a future game. Basically is what I'm assuming that they're trying to do here. So we probably won't get the entirety of it done. I would think that, like, what? I think a lot of people mentioned, like, Red Cliff or Chirby would be the nice place to stop it. And then we establish the whole thing with the Three Kingdoms even after that. Well, we'll have to wait and see, because we don't know too much. They've only showed just 2 things so far, which was a fraction of the Ultron Rebellion, and or at least the beginning of it, and then a piece of the Dongjua, anti-Dongjua stuff. All right. Oh, actually, here we go. Let's see. This happens when Show P got asked how far the DW origin story go through. Since you're probably depicting the year before, we wonder how far in Romance of the Three Kingdoms origin story will go. I'd like to talk about that in more detail at a later date. Fuck! What I can say now is, even until now, it does not mean we have created it by following a rule that this episode must always be included in the DW series. For example, DW7 depicting the story development past the Battle of the Wuzhong Plains was also a choice from the development direction. This time in Origins, we are focusing on conveying the appeals to people who don't know Romance of the Three Kingdoms and have them properly enjoy it. We plan to include stuff that we think would be best in a single game. So what would be the appeal of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, you think to yourself? Personally, I think it's people's way of life. Many Romance of the Three Kingdoms adaptations had Battle of Wuzhong Plains where Zhuge Liang died, spoiler alert, as the last episode. I think that's because he had an appealing way of life. In Origins, we also delve deeper into each individual, and I'd like to make people be able to experience becoming the person. Even the novelist Yoshikawa Eiji was like, Kongming already died, so I have no more motivation to write more on the last part of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Damn, shout out to Zhuge Liang just being a goat, apparently, to people. When we finished reading it, the sense of desolation from having everyone already passed away broke our chest. It didn't change no matter how many times we reread it. I'm digressing a bit from the games, but I think it would be good if Romance of the Three Kingdoms stories end with the Three Kingdoms still existing without getting unified. Oh, interesting. In games, we would create what-if endings where one of the kingdoms unified the whole land every time, though. Excuse me, sorry. Well, players would definitely want to see a unification. Oh, okay, so is he potentially talking about maybe making it to where it's going to be like a hypothetical scenario type thing again? Where all the Three Kingdoms technically don't have like a sad ending in a way. It's like, this kingdom will have a good ending, this kingdom will have a good ending, and the other one will, like basically how we did with DW8, I think it was, with their hypotheticals. Making the main character live in 100 years. Talking about how the previous games were made. Ah, gotcha. I would be fine with hypotheticals just so long as they're done well. Apparently, DW Origins staff team will focus more on depicting some characters more accurately to their ages in the actual years. When we see the published video, it seems that Guan Yu is being depicted younger, with his appearance change as he ages, just like Nobunaga in Samurai Warriors 5. I just read that so wrong, I'm sorry. Some of the characters will have their appearances change based on the situation, whether by age or army rank. I'll leave it to your imaginations for now. Up until now, there has been some sense of discomfort in the DW series due to people keeping the same appearance in their histories of over 50 years. For example, Cao Cao and Liu Bei have mainly based on the prime ages when they were crowned as kings. But in this case, during the Ultron Rebellion, they were still young and unpromoted. They looked too dignified. Very true. Very true. You know, Kareen had Guan Yu, yeah. What's happening? This is all from an article and from an interview talking about Dynasty Warriors Origins. So it kind of confirms some things that obviously aren't mentioned in the trailers or anything like that, or just news we haven't gotten before. So we're looking through all this from this article, and because they had an interview, and so far he's like mentioning things that like he has the visions he has for the games. And also things that gotta be confirmed or not confirmed for the game. We wanted to do something about this since the first Musou genre game in DW2. In DW Origins, as we create them in shapes that fit their ages and the periods, in 183, Guan Yu appears in the video, has a shorter beard. Does he? When he rubs his beard, he will rub it as a high position rather than prior series entries. Gan Ning would also look too young up until now. When Ling Tong and Lu Meng showed up, he would have already been in his 40s. Very true. They always made it seem, because wasn't he actually wasn't Gan Ning older than even Lu Meng, and Lu Meng was always depicted as the older guy, which is kind of funny. As they are they gonna make Sun Quan Fiverr doing the hula up gate? I don't know. I don't know if they're even gonna show. I don't know how they're gonna make this work so far. I'm not entirely sure. But that is really cool that some of them are actually they're gonna start. I don't know if it's gonna be for like every character, probably just for the important characters. But that is really cool that they're gonna start doing something like that with making certain characters like younger and everything, making them look like their proper age and all that stuff. So. Go on to the next one. Here's a possible bombshell for today's Origin interview. Having an original protagonist does not mean there will be Caw here. Play devil's advocate, though. I wonder if they're doing it so that DDB Origins doesn't become too similar to Wolong, since the latter had. If that's the reason, which is a good reason for BlackKite, but if that's the reason, that is the dumbest fucking reason I've ever heard in my life. I'm gonna be real. I think that is the dumbest reason I have ever heard, that they would not bring in the Caw system here just because it would be too similar to Wolong. Who cares? Who cares if it would be? That is the worst. We're in a day of modern gaming where, yes, it would be nice to have a protagonist that would just be able to be seen as like, okay, when you think of this game, you think of this character here. Technically, we already have those types of characters with Lu Bu and Zhao Yun. Probably other characters you could probably mention there. But I get it, they're not like the main protagonists and all that stuff. But even still, that is the dumbest reason why you would not be able to change your character or even customize the character. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But all right, let's keep going into it and hopefully get a good answer out of this. We'd like to hear about the protagonist. Can you edit the character by changing the face or gender? I'll start with the conclusion that although you can name him, there is no character edit, as we want to properly tangle him onto his game's story. We also fixed his gender to be male. In order to have everyone from long-term fans to people not well-versed in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms enjoy the story with a fresh feeling, we thought we need a person with a fixed appearance, personality, and voice. So far, it looks like he doesn't even talk, so that seems kind of pointless. So he ended up becoming like this. Like what we have talked about just before, his appearance will also change as the story progresses. So this character, of course, will still be getting like probably age progression stuff too. Maybe just different outfits, maybe getting up in ranks and stuff. I'm not entirely sure. As for costume changes, we are not currently planning to do that either. And even if we are to do it, it would be within range that does not break the Romance of the Third Kingdom world setting. But we have also been receiving various feedback voices from the players, so we consider implementing. Why would you just not put that in the game? I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it in a way for his decision on doing that. And it looks like there is more going in the next one. But as of right now, from what we're seeing, I'm insanely confused. Especially after you see the first trailer where this is supposed to be the unnamed warrior. I get it. Now we know the unnamed warrior is because he really doesn't know his own goddamn name. He has amnesia. That's the whole reason he's unnamed, is because he doesn't know who he is. Personally, kind of dumb. Kind of dumb. But we're moving on. Let's keep it, because looks like there's more here. More on Show P's decision in having a fixed protagonist from Femi's version of the interview. All right. So the protagonist has a fixed appearance. Did you also consider the character creation method? And here we go for this as well. I don't know. I don't know if it's even going to be a historical character. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors Guide and the man who lost his name. Good reference. Good reference. There was also a lot of arguments in the team on whether we should have a character creation method or not. Even at the final phases of development, there were still voices asking, isn't it necessary? And I understand, well, the strong desires for that. However, there is a clear reason inside myself as I decided on this protagonist. While the game will have the story of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, it will also be a story with our own interpretation. In order to be able to enjoy it with the deepest sense, we needed the image of a protagonist who has a past and can act as a proper pillar to the core of the story. If we were to make this appearance and voice customizable, I feel like we wouldn't be able to depict a deep enough experience of Romance of the Three Kingdoms we're aiming for right now. Although this protagonist has clear personality and unique appeal, he's not a protagonist with strong quirks. We're still in the process of balancing the characters so that people can get to like him while empathizing with him. All this I'm hearing, and I'm wondering if we're gonna get like some big fucking bombshell of like who this is gonna be, like a new character or something. I don't know, but right now all this still sounds like stuff you could easily still do with a character creator. That's literally the vibe I'm getting right now. Is just like all this stuff that he's mentioning right now, all this stuff still could have easily still happened. Like, you could still make it to where your character can be sympathized with. They can still have a good part in the story, but it wouldn't still fully impact all that stuff, because as long as you're writing the story well enough, you could make it to where that character, the customizable character, if we went that route, you could still make it to where the character could still have a decent enough presence for the character, for the people to still enjoy it, and not to mention be able to have the excitement of being able to put your own character into the video game, but not have it affect too much the romance of the Three Kingdoms novel. You could still make it to where, like, he's still there, he has a presence, but you could still make it to where, like, all the other faces of the franchise are still the biggest part of it, because obviously those are, like, people like Cao Cao, Liu Bei, and all the other guys, Guan Yu. Like, all those guys are still going to be big parts of the story as a whole. At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. So why I still don't understand where that thought process is, unless he's planning on, because I might have missed it. I may not have been paying too much attention. I don't know. When I was reading it, I don't think there was any mention like this is actually going to be a fully 100% historical figure that we're playing as here. I don't think that's the case. But the fact that you're able to allow us to customize the name, which in that argument, I understand. You're allowed to make your own name for the character because the dude has amnesia. He doesn't know his name. So he's just like, I'll just come up with one right off the bat. It's this name, when it's not actually that name. So, you know, unless they're giving us some hell of a bombshell or something, which I don't, unless there's some crazy historical figure that I know of, and it probably isn't. It's probably just some fictional character that they themselves made and they just want to be able to just make it look cool. If that's the case, I still think they could have easily still went with like a customizable character in some regard, or at least allow us to customize the protagonist himself with different outfits or something like that. But it's John Smith. It just feels like a lousy excuse, honestly, like, or a lousy reason. Not excuse. I won't say excuse, because it looks like he's pretty. He feels very strong about just making this protagonist, even if he's getting bombarded by his other devs team by saying like, shouldn't it be necessary to have a character creator? He seems very adamant about it. But even still, it just feels like it's not a good enough reason to be able to just not allow us to at least do something with the character. Just something. Even if, like, by some weird reason or, like, anything. It just feels weird. Like, even if you could just at least update the character himself, or at least have made it to where he could have either been a male or a female. Like, something could have happened there, but they didn't go with it, and it is what it is. That would be hard to do with the whole different appearances as they age thing. Not really, honestly. And one big go away with that could be same deal what they did with Wolong as well. You can make it to where you can customize the character at any time. So you could, in a way, they could make it to where that sticks with you. That's your choice. Even if they got to a halfway point where they're like saying like, hey, at this point, people are aging. You could say like, do you want to age up? You want to change up your character to make them seem more aged up? They could have done that. I did that in Wolong. I aged up Harna a couple times with different hairstyles. I gave her a wrinkle or two, and it worked. Like, it's just a matter of, that matter of freedom was enough to let people like have that choice to age their character or not. As time went on in the story and everything, but it did. This definitely was a punch to me for my excitement in the game. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be customizable. I was copiuming so hard that it was going to be. If you've seen my other streams and stuff like that, I did copium it pretty hard, but unfortunately, obviously, that just wasn't meant to be. Which eventually I'll get over it, but even still, it's just I think that's one of the more lamer reasons to do it. In my personal opinion, I don't know how feedback has been for other people on it. I know there's a lot of people who hate that fact. I know there's a lot of other people who probably just don't care. All power to you for whichever one you prefer. If you prefer to just be able to just play with what they give you, that's perfectly fine. If you're someone who is upset that they didn't give you the character creator, understandable as well. I completely understand both sides of it. But let's continue on. We can talk more about it probably once we look at the trailer once again after this. DW Origins is basically forsaking DW9 gameplay features, but each weapon type moveset might not be the same, have the same combo traits. We'd also like to hear about the action aspects. How will the actions look like here? We will reconstruct it to depict suspenseful battles while including the essence of games Omega Forest had worked on. such as DB3 through 6. Trinity Zil 0, Dragon Quest Heroes, and Fate Samurai Remnant. I haven't played that yet. Since you specifically mentioned DB3 through 6, does that mean the action system will return to the traditional style? It does not mean that there will be a template like it in prior DB games, such as square triangle being a juggle launcher for a square triangle being a stunner. This specification was made so that people could more easily play as many characters without getting confused. Origins has a single protagonist, so we're creating the weapons in a direction where each type will have its own traits. However, we will continue using what I have been personally calling the button sense, whatever that is, that has been cultivated by DB games. What do you mean with the button sense? It's like we use square for costless quick attacks, triangle for strong attacks, circle for finisher attacks, and X for jumping. Since Origins is a game where you do suspenseful battles with generals and enjoy launching attacks in the midst of melee, we will also add defense and evasion and parrying at the right time, which I'm cool with. I like the parrying at the right time. Technically, they had that kind of thing. They had like counters, parrying, whatever you want to call it, in like older games. And obviously, technically, parries existed in Wolong as well, from as far as I remember. Or unless it was just like some other version of like a dodge, I'm not sure. But I think people mentioned it was just a parry. So I'm cool with that. I like the fact of having some type of different types of defense, evasions, parrying, and just blocking and all that stuff, I'm assuming. So that stuff I'm cool with. I like that. I'm liking that they brought that in. There have been talks of the new game's development started from scratch, but are there any features over from Dynasty Warriors 9, like open world state combo system and interactive actions? One of the themes here in Origins is to delve deeper into each individual battle, so we do not employ open world. Also, the state combo system was considered to fit Dynasty Warriors 9's game design, so it won't appear here. As for interactive actions, they do appear at certain points in the battlefield. You can swim in the water. You cannot use a grapple hook to scale walls, which I am perfectly fine with. Because I feel like that just kind of like killed the vibe of the game, honestly, because you can just kind of speedrun that shit, and I just never liked the grapple hook to begin with. You can climb a ladder if a ladder has been placed there. Yeah, which also makes sense. It's basically kind of like Dynasty Warriors 6 in a way, which is great. That kind of feels like it just took notes from DD6, which a lot of its interactive actions were really good in Dynasty Warriors 6. So I'm hoping they take some more notes off of Dynasty Warriors 6 interactive stuff, in my personal opinion. All right, and we'll look better at this stuff later. But obviously there's a picture here, but it's kind of hard to see. But we'll do one. There we go. Apparently, the choice of unique officers that you can control will be tied to the period and scenario. How far into Romance of the Third Kingdom story? It's a straight question. I'd like to explain it more at a later time, but since the theme is to give a deeper experience of Romance of the Third Kingdoms, I'll tell you that we're not thinking of depicting the entire Third Kingdoms era. Okay, there you go. They're not doing the entirety of it. There you go. Hey, DB6 had some really cool stuff with it. I will say, DB6 had some really, really cool stuff. I think the combat was honestly just the biggest blunder for me personally. It was just a very boring combat system, and I just hated the Renbu gauge system a lot. But Dynasty Warriors 6 had a lot of good things in theory, and it sucks that it didn't really carry over much to other games. The pronunciation of the characters' names were pretty accurate. I'm trying my best to. I played these games for a hot minute, so I'm trying my best to make sure they're actually kind of better. Also, this isn't the same people. This is Famitsu now. I think the last one was yeah, it was 4Gamers. Now we're on to this one here. Okay. Oops. Oh, wait. I went too far back. Oops. Oh. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're here. Understood. Does that mean the unique officers that have appeared until now cannot be chosen as playable characters? Yes. In this game, we want people to enjoy Romance of the Three Kingdoms for the protagonist's point of view. So he is the main character. He is the main character players will control, and we want them to consider him as their avatar. More reason why it should have been a custom character if you want them to be our avatar. That's even more reason. What do you mean? Ay, ay, ay. Bro. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. When the unique all right. But when the unique officers do appear, everyone will definitely want to control them. Players will be able to temporarily switch control to characters who are necessary or closely related to the story during the battles. So, in a way, you will still be able to play as those characters for a short period of time. However, you will not be able to play with them for, like, obviously, like, the entirety of it, because your main character is who you're still going to have to be playing as the entire time. The protagonist does have the same strength, but it does not mean he can handle 1,000 soldiers from the beginning. I feel like the unique officers will visibly have more overwhelming powers until the game's middle part. I hope you can enjoy controlling the unique officers to beat up enemies. Yeah, it's a temporary thing. It's a temporary thing to where they're going to at least allow you the ability to play as the characters, but for the most part, you're only going to be playing primarily. It's kind of like a hybrid combination of, in a weird way, I would like to say it's not exactly like this. It's a way of Wolong, where you're still playing as your character, but at the same time you're still able to like be able to pick the other character, or like be able to swap to the other character like for a short period of time, like how Warriors All-Stars did it in a way, because you can play as one character, then you can have like another team of 4. If you hit a certain directional button, you're able to play with that character and play with them for a short period of time. So at the moment right now, you are mostly primarily playing as your main character, but we'll have the opportunity to play as the other characters for a short period of time in combat. So that means you cannot select which unique officers to deploy like before, right? That's right. The protagonist will participate in every battle. There will be situations where you can be accompanied by another character, and if there are multiple characters available, you can choose your favorite character to deploy with you. Weird decision. I get where they're wanting to go with it. So far, in my personal opinion, it's like Fate Samurai Remnant, also one of Show's games. Yeah, he mentioned that earlier with one of those games. So right now, I'm not gonna lie, with stuff that's been happening, I know they said this is supposed to be the next like mainline game. This shit's feeling like a spin-off game to me. It looks great. I'm not even accounting for the gameplay or anything like that. It feels very side game-esque right now. It feels like, or spin-off, side game, whatever you want to call it. It feels like that kind of thing to me. Which is how limited it feels with what you're going to be able to do. When you see Dynasty Warriors, you expect to be able to play with every character. I mean, I get, because you can already see right away in the defense of it. You can already see right away. This is not just primarily supposed to be something that is meant for returning fans. This is something that is meant to be for new fans. New people to be able to come in and be like, oh, okay, this is the face of this franchise. Now I know who they are, and now we're getting a more detailed story of this story that we've seen in so many other games. Maybe this will get me into it. But so in a way, it's mostly them focusing on getting new fans into the series, and I think they even mentioned it earlier. It's a way for a lot of people, including like overseas, because Japan is like, they enjoy these games. There's a lot of people outside of Asia, like in our area, that just don't care, because they see all these numbers and they're like, oh, well, it's all just the same game. They're retelling the same story over and over again with the kind of around the same amount of detail, which is what a lot of like new fans or like old fans would probably say. So it's probably just a way to pull them back in, or pull in brand new people into it. So in that regard, I get it in a way, but at the same time, for old fans, for new people, this is going to feel like a brand new experience. For old people, I'm so sorry, fans, chat. For old fans, returning fans, it feels like a spin-off game. In a way, it feels like a big spin-off game. A big project, most likely, but at the end of the day, it still kind of feels like a spin-off. Yeah, sorry, chat. All you returning fans, you're old. Specifically also me, because I started from the second game. I called us old, the disrespect. Alright, let's move on to the next bit. Gonna guess a good number of DW's unique female characters will only appear as unique NPCs. Oof! Oof! Guan Yu. That's a little scary. How will the protagonist interact with the characters? If he first meets Guan Yu, it might seem like he'll join the Shu faction. Will he be involved with every faction as a mercenary? He will meet with the characters sometimes as allies or enemies during battle. Outside of battles, he can also deepen his bonds with them through interactions. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah. Sorry. Damn. Yes, it looks like a lot of the female characters are gonna be taking a backseat in this game, which that does not sound like a good thing so far. 'Cause there's a lot of good female characters, dude. That is insane. Woo! All right. Anyway, yeah. Let's go back to this. He will meet the characters. Sometimes it's allies or enemies during battle. Outside of battles, he can also deepen the bonds with them through interactions. After such interactions, what would his final position in Three Kingdoms era be like? I still can't speak in detail yet, but it won't be a story where he gets to settle in a specific faction. So you have, it looks like you have no specific alliance or allegiance to a specific kingdom. So it does look like it's still the mercenary type thing where you're going from just like, you're probably going to just be doing like whoever wins certain battles, or maybe if they take maybe even Chung Bung, for instance, where like Cao Cao's chasing the shit out of Liu Bei. You help Liu Bei escape and stuff like that. Like maybe there's a battle that's really horrendously bad for people, and technically then you would probably be in that kind of particular thing to get more like emotion out of the loss of the battle. Like maybe even, for instance, maybe like you're during the Fawn Castle battle, you're in the Shu side and you're witnessing the loss because you're joining them on that battle. Maybe, I don't know, but bro, if this is supposed to be some young Zuo, I am flipping the desk. More in-depth explanation on Zheng Jiao's design change and origins. Yep, there it is. So that is in fact Zheng Jiao. He kind of has the face of is it, I don't know, maybe like Magoichi from SW5 Magoichi maybe? I don't know. That's what it feels like right at the moment to me. We were the most surprised with Zheng Jiao's visuals. Zheng Jiao in the DDB series until now seemed to have been depicted like some first villain boss using comical-like sorcery. This time has become a handsome man. Up until DDB5, there were limitations in expressions due to the PS2 hardware specs. Also, the games did not deeply depict the Three Kingdoms era, as they were more like overall digests. That's why if we didn't deform him, his characteristics would not have stood out. But nowadays, he would have been an overall evolution in both the depictable story elements and the power to express character appearances. This Zheng Jiao image is a result of us creating him to fit our current era. I'm also speaking for the overall game dev, but we are not intentionally pinpointing places that ought to be changed. But all of them are being molded to fit the world that this game will depict. Most of the DDB series starts with Yellow Turban Rebellion, and Zheng Jiao stands in everyone's way at first. But when we want to explain what the Yellow Turban Rebellion was and why did it occur, there is a necessity to depict Zheng Jiao as a character. We do not aim to change him from eccentric to handsome, but but this game's Zheng Jiao is created to make people properly understand the experience of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, which is good. I'm so exhausted of seeing the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Just like, I get it. This is where it all begins with Zheng Jiao. This is where it all begins. The Yellow Turban Rebellion. Why is it happening? If you don't read up on this shit, a lot of fans, and new fans especially, if they didn't do this, they wouldn't understand why. Like, okay, we get it. Like, Yellow Turbans are the first bad guy, like they said earlier. They're the first bad guy. And like, basically like a tutorial boss and crap. It's really nice that they're actually going to be showing a build-up to the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Even if it's just a short build-up to it, as long as there's a proper explanation to it, I think that's a really great way of showing like how all this really starts off and becomes into what it is with Dynasty Warriors. So I'm really happy that they're actually going to be giving that a lot more focus, because I think out of every single thing that we see, the Yellow Turbans are always just your tutorial first stage boss, and then it's over. So I'm really glad that they decided to change that up and actually make it to where they're like a purpose for like the Yellow Turbans being shown. Because again, if you don't read up this shit, and there's a lot of people who don't, who don't read up on this type of stuff, they're going to be like, okay, they're just here, they're the bad guys, they're rising in rebellion, let's fucking kill them. So I like that. I like that they're giving more reason for it. To those of us who follow JP Seus in DB series, there may be more VA changes coming from characters with different designs. Oh, okay. Also from the published list of Japanese voice actors so far, Guan Yu is still being voiced by Matsutani Yasunori. Zheng Jiao's cast is being changed to... I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. I'm so sorry. Takechui Ryota-san. But there will be more will there be more changes in the voice actors? Yes, there will. However, I do not think of an intention or plan to change the voice actors. If the characters become younger, they must have voices that suit their appearances. Okay, I'm okay with that. So we choose voice actors who fit the characters' images. For example, since Zheng Jiao has a massive change of image with not only his looks, but also his personality and behaviors, We went to ask the voice actor who fits the image. As for Masutani's son's Guan Yu, when we asked him to do a voice younger version of Guan Yu, he did fit the image, and I did think this is really Guan Yu. So we continue giving him the role to him. Okay, so some of the guys will be able to voice both old or young and old versions, particularly, for instance, here Guan Yu. So, okay. I don't know. I feel like there might be an instance where maybe you'll be able to like fight alongside the old Turban's me. I mean, like it technically showed that, didn't it? During that first battle with Guan Yu there. So I guess in a way it technically is like, in a way you're kind of doing that, sort of. No more Zheng Jiao calling people infidels. Hey, he might crack one day and say it. You never know. One last segment I can do for today, and also big shout out to BlackKite for doing all this. This is awesome. It's really cool to be able to have somebody like this who can translate all this stuff for the community. Like I said, please go onto Twitter. There's their handle and everything there. There's their name. You can go ahead and follow them. Please go follow BlackKite if you have a Twitter. We really appreciate it. I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. Big shout out to them for all this awesome support that they do. So big round of applause for them. In the video, the soldiers seem to have a... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't fully read what he mentioned here. It also contains a big reference to players of early DWU games like 2 and 4. Okay. In the video, the soldiers seem to have a high frequency of attacks. Could it be because the player was charging on his own? If the morale is high, both the attack power and frequency will also be high. And overall, the enemy soldiers in the video are very fully motivated. However, if they simply had high attack and defense stats, it would end up harming the sense of exhilaration from 1 versus 1,000 and would only build up stress. Thank you! The soldiers in this game are aggressive, but basically they are made to not interfere with the player's movements. For example, your own attack motions will not be interrupted by regular soldiers' attacks. Okay, I see what it means. I see what he's getting at. Then it wouldn't be like the early series games where you kept getting pelted by bowmen and crossbowmen without being able to do anything. Basically just like the normal attack soldiers. You can rest assured on that. Even so, I cannot completely guarantee that, though. Laughs. We may also be returning to the roots in that sense, but the more recent play, or the more recent people may not know the terror from bowmen and crossbowmen. I'm so glad that that's so damn memeable in this goddamn series to people. So I'd like to have them know how painful crossbows are. Of course, I'm not going to give them stress. It will be one of the solvable elements that they can get through if they try well enough. So there's one element right there that I'm sure a lot of y'all are really excited for, right? He's going to make y'all feel the pain of having bowmen and crossbowmen return. That's so goddamn hilarious. I love that. That's so funny. Yeah, BlackKite been doing this forever, yeah. And hey, appreciate these people while it lasts. Not saying anything's going to happen with BlackKite, but you know what I mean. All right, let's go back to this real quick and just look through some stuff real fast. But, so yeah, there was definitely some news there. Again, I can tell that they're really trying to make it to where this game is supposed to bring in a lot of, he even mentioned it as well. It's supposed to bring in a lot of new fans. And that is I think that's their biggest goal. Right now, in my personal view of it, that's what they're trying to do, is just mostly prioritize new people being in this game, or coming to play this game, and only giving us small elements to kind of keep us a little happy. But at the same time, they made a lot of decisions, and I even saw it from the chat. I know I was reading mostly of that than reading the chat, which I'm sorry about. But that a lot of people were definitely not super ecstatic about, which I completely understand because I'm one of those people. But it definitely is looking like they're trying to go for a completely different type of experience to where it can bring in new people. So it's it's basically not to this high degree, I mean, but like in this regard, but it's like a Dynasty Warriors 6. And in a way, it's sort of a Dynasty Warriors 9 as well. It's an experimental game. They experimented with Dynasty Warriors 6. They had some good things from it. They had some not great things from it. And then they basically kept a lot of the good things in the next game and moved on. Dynasty Warriors 9, I feel like, was another big experimental project to have an open world thing, because open world at the time was just very popular with a lot of game devs and gaming community. Nowadays, people don't really care too much about open world as much anymore. But now it looks like they're going away from that again after the feedback of DW9, getting rid of the combat from it, getting rid of the open world, which those two things primarily were the biggest issue with that game. Another one I'm still worried about, and I don't know if they're going to do it, is if they're going to make it to, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter from the looks of it because, again, primarily you're going to be playing with your character. So even if we see characters like, for instance, which makes me think that now those things aren't going to be placeholders after seeing this news that we saw, because I know a lot of people were trying to tell me that a lot of the weapons that people were holding were placeholder weapons. I'm starting to slowly think that they might not be placeholders, but the reason behind it is because we will not be playing as them, so they probably don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal. If it was a game like, for instance, DW8, where like you could play as every character, or just any other Dynasty Warriors game where you could play as all the characters and not have to worry about playing as one particular character, then we run into that problem of the cloned movesets. But I think the reason why they're giving a lot of people shared weapons, which is why I feel like, and I could be wrong, I could be completely wrong, but this is just a theory. But that's the reason why I feel like we're seeing a lot of it, because I think that double-bladed weapon Dian Wei had, someone mentioned, I think Li Dian had just a regular pike. Chen Gong in the first trailer, he ended up having a war fan aside from his chain and sickle. So it looks like they're just going to be going with a lot of like, which probably also, if you look through all the weapons, those are probably the weapons we're going to be using in the game with our main character and be able to probably change between and everything. But it looks like there's going to be a lot of characters that have like similar weapons, but in a way it sucks, but in a way it won't really matter because you won't be playing with those characters. So I think the next biggest one for me is the fact that they're not allowing, is that they're going to make female characters take the side bench. That just seems so stupid to do. You could still have plenty of like female characters, even if like you wanted to have like, for instance, like if you wanted to have like I don't know, fucking, who am I trying to think of here? Have a battle where there's like Cao Pi, for instance. We're just going to throw one right out, like piss the wind, just throw one out there. For instance, Cao Pi. I don't know. From right now, it sounds like most, if not all, maybe? I'm not sure. A lot of people are assuming all. To be fair, a lot of people are probably just letting the negativity of it all hit them hard, and they're just assuming it's going to be all of them. I don't know. But like, they could always make it to where like there's like a second character that follows you along with like the main, like that first character, the most important character, and maybe a side character that can go deploy with you and everything. I'm not sure, but let's check out the demo. Let's check out the gameplay one more time, and then we'll probably finish up for the day. Because your boy's got to get packing for the beach, bro. Yeah, here is again Zheng Zhao, right here, helping out somebody. It's so weird seeing him so handsome. I'm guessing this is all just more Imperial people and everything here. God, I'm hoping Shang Tsung makes an appearance. It'd be so strange if we don't have all the kids of... In a way, I feel like that's going to be strange. I don't know how... I'm assuming she's the youngest person. She's the youngest, right? And Sun Quan, technically, if they're trying to go more historically accurate, we might not even see Sun Quan. We'll probably see Sun Ce and Sun Jian, but that's probably it. Maybe we'll see them as kids. It just depends on how historical they want to go, because it looks like they are trying to go more accurate with it, but it really just depends on how accurate they want to go. So we might see her as a kid. Unless I'm mistaken, and Sun Shengxiong's like one of the more older ones, but I could have sworn that she was like the youngest. It looks like our character will be aging. Yeah, they said they're gonna have new, different designs, just like all the other characters who age. So he'll probably have more of like a more distinguished type of design when he gets older and stuff. But this is at least his first design, which is why he looks so young here. So yeah, I think he's gonna age up. Maybe he'll get facial hair or something. I don't know. He'll go from like cute, hot-looking anime boy to like fucking hunk of a fucking husband. I don't fucking know. Yeah, he was only 9 when Sun Jian died, so we probably won't even see Sun Shengxiong. Unless she shows up as a kid. But, or if she even just shows up as like a character that you just see on the sidelines, you know? I don't know. It's so weird. The demeanor, the voice, all of it. Not hating it. Not hating it. It's just really weird to see. Yeah, if Sheng Xiong's the youngest, then yeah, we probably won't see her. Yeah, this version of Eve does slap. I will say that. The Eve remix is great. And so far, everything looks really well rendered in for the most part. I'm not seeing anything like struggling to like render in and all that stuff. It looks really nice. I'm liking the camera angle too. Usually they go for like a little bit more overhead type of position here. It looks like more of a Ghost of Tsushima type camera angle. That's just the one I'm like vibing with right now, that I remember. Looks like when you're actually doing moves in combat and stuff. Okay, there's the little evasion dodge that you can do. Like a more distinguished like charge attack there. Running on in. Yeah, they definitely did a lot of like cuts here and everything, fortunately. Would have been cool to just see the whole thing. She was married to Liu Bei and was old enough to join battles before she married him, so if any of the female characters are going to appear, she's most likely. I can't say anything because, like, again, if they are trying to go more accurate with it, she's going to be a literal child. Probably even, like a fucking fetus if she's younger than Sun Quan. But I don't see her being, like, a combating person. But again, they could just go say, fuck it, and we're just going to make her, like, able to be used. They made little baby boy Yukimura as a playable character in Spirit of Sanada, so it's possible. That means no Wang Yi, fucking sacrilege. Yeah, they did give Zhang Zhao the daddy dong agreement from Wolong, yeah. Dude, it's so crazy. He is very pretty. So are they just... So did Guan Yu and this random fucking dude, just our character, just decide, alright, fuck, we're gonna go help these rebels beat the shit out of these Imperials? Yeah, it depends on where the story stops. I'm only going off of what we see here, which is Hulao Gate, and I'm assuming we're gonna go further than that. But if we do go into later chapters, of course we'll see Sun Quan and Sun Shaicheng for sure. But I was going based off of what we have like right now, which is only the Ultra Rebellion and Hulao Gate. That's all I was going off of. Yeah, I mean, it so far sounds like it didn't sound like they were really going to get rid of anybody per se, I guess. At least early characters. What's on the back of his weapon? Wait, hold on. What was that? I thought I saw something on the back of his weapon there. Landed on the ground. Oh, it's just smoke. I'm a fucking idiot. I thought it was like some little decoration. I was like, what was that? It was just fucking smoke. God damn. I'm old. My family's also telling me I should just bring my fucking setup to the beach, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to fit a whole PC there. Okay, so this is just lagging here. Okay. I thought it was just me. I would be shocked if it didn't get the Chirby. Granted, in Wolong, we only got, I mean, granted, 2 different games I get, but like, if they're gonna go more in depth with like the old, like these stuff, I'd be, for some reason, wouldn't be shocked if they just stopped at Guandu like they did for fucking Wolong. You need to relax and forget about electronics. Bro, like, I'm gonna bring a console though. I gotta play something while I'm there. I'm very fidgety. I can't just like, it's not like I'm going to be at the beach 24/7. What am I going to do when I get like, what's going to happen at night? What am I going to do? I got to play something. I got to bring some electronics. I don't know if I'll ever be able to stream there because I'm going to be going off of beach Wi-Fi, which to be fair, the connection wasn't too bad over at the beach, but if I'm only saying it's not too bad, it's probably not going to happen. Beach bum. Yeah, I'll just let this shit play. There's nothing really interesting here. Aside from the fact that you can name the character, which, again, makes no sense because why? I get it, because you have amnesia. That part does make sense. Other than that, though, you can't customize characters, so why does it matter? Like, that explanation that he gave is just... wasn't really good. They're stopping after the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Alright, that's it. It's over. After the Yellow Turbans, it's over. You heard it here first. He's a guide. He's just Link. Oh, they said it was a new Muso? Okay. Play with beach crabs? Bro, if I'm near the ocean, I'm probably gonna play with fucking sharks and get eaten. I don't know. I'm actually really shocked we have not seen a single thing about Zhao Yun yet. Yeah, this shit right here just feels very, specifically to me, because it's just like the 3D map and everything, it feels very, Total War. Yeah, the world map looks nice. It literally just looks like Total War's map. The mini map and everything, it all just looks like Total War. Who's that behind him? Is that supposed to be, who is that? So it fucking brightened up, holy crap. Yeah, or just any old, yeah. Yo, Xiahou Dun got a cape again? Let's fucking go? I don't think he's had a cape since 3. Yeah, he's so adamant. It has to be something big, like, for the character. It has to be. If it really is something, like, really huge at the end, I'll be like, alright, fine. But he's not, obviously he wants to be vague, because he doesn't want to mention everything right off the bat. Alright, we're gonna be, okay, so we got characters here. Is there anybody else? I think that's it. So our character, I think, is this one right here on the right. I think is that Xiahou Dun right there? Between them? I don't know who the fuck this is. Is this supposed to be Liu Bei? The one-eyed Cyclops of Wei. Yeah, this is for Battle of Hula Gate. Well, technically, I think this is Sishui Gate, because it has only Hua Xiong and Li Jue. Which, at least in DW4, they actually had it to where Li Jue was commander, but Hua Xiong was actually guarding the gate itself. That's probably what they're going for. Sun Jian over here. It looks like a combination of his DW9 design and I think his Wolong, just with no helmet for some reason. I always liked him with the helmet. I think he still looks good. The long hair and everything looks nice, but I think I still prefer him with the helmet on, but it's still a good look. Yuan Shao, of course. I mean, he's got his design from Dynasty Warriors 9, it looks like. So, nothing really to mention there. Cao Cao over here on the left. No, that's fair. I understand why a lot of people like him without the helmet. Honestly, this hairstyle is probably the best one that he's had without the helmet on. But yeah, here's Cao Cao, the young Cao Cao. It looks like he's definitely got some similarities from his 9 design, but it looks pretty alright. Yuan Shu looks exactly the same, I think, which is fair, I guess. He was a DLC character in the last one, and it's not like they haven't done that before where they ended up making like characters from spin-offs or DLCs have like the same outfit in the next game. I think Su Shu was a big one of that, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Obviously we got Chung Pu over here too. I think probably the same outfit, maybe. Does he have a different outfit or is that the same one? Yeah, the rat emperor. Does he have the same kind of look? I can't remember how Chung Pu looks. But very glad that he's back in the game because he deserves to be in the game. Same one? Okay. And then Chen Gong, I think he has a different outfit. Same outfit? Okay. Amnesiac Prince would be pretty kawaii. Yeah, that's what we're all thinking right now. Probably that. Yeah, I think this is same type of outfit, right? Or not same, is it? It looks it feels different. Oh yeah, sure, he doesn't have his crown. Maybe he'll put the crown on maybe later in the game. I'm gonna have to get a better look at Chen Gong real quick because it's been a minute since I've seen him. I stopped playing DB9 like a few months ago, so I completely forgot how everybody looks. Got a small little picture. It's not the full render, but work. It's Chen Gong. No, that I think it's just a palette swap of his outfit. Yeah, I think it's just a palette swap. It's a palette swap. It's a palette swap of his outfit. Also, yeah, if it keeps phrasing it out, it's because it's clicking off the game and clicking back in, so don't worry. Let's keep looking. Dude, the map here it looks really good. I will say that. I know they skipped a lot of the gameplay, which kind of sucks. I wish they showed the whole stage. I kind of get the reason why they didn't want to spoil stuff, I guess. But, like, I would have loved to see just how long this battle looks. Look at, like, all the weird placements of officers and stuff, too. Some of these guys are, like, deep in enemy territory and everything, too. And I'm assuming Hua Xiong and Li Jue are over here on the top left. But I'm assuming this is supposed to be Lishui Gate? Yeah, there's no open world, at least. Yeah, the map does look really big. But I think they edited it to cut off specific points, unfortunately. I don't know when we're getting DW8 English voices back, if we ever do. But yeah, someone mentioned that was supposed to be Li Jue and Hua Xiong right there. Obviously, we got Yuan Shao. I think we saw everybody technically from there, so we don't have to worry about the left side, I mean. Yeah, from the perspective, it looks like it should be a pretty good drawn-out battle from the looks. But again, the issue is we just don't get to see the full gameplay of it. The side like view that they're giving the characters, it makes me think of another game, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Will the enemy generals and commanders be a lot more challenging and threatening? I think that was the goal they were trying to go for. Okay, no. Hang on. Let me go back a little bit. This is just a bit where they're walking away. No, this is a new design. Never mind. It's a tweaked up new design for Chen Gong. There are definitely a lot of elements here that are still the same, but from the picture I'm seeing right now of Chen Gong, it is definitely a new design on him. Let me look at Sun Jian actually. At least what they have. It's different. The stuff on the cape at least are definitely more visible. Actually, I think the cape itself might be the pelt, like the entirety of the pelt, maybe. Also, yeah, I just realized they aged him up because in 9 he actually wasn't really aged up. He had a black goatee and everything. Brown, maybe. But yeah, okay. So Sun Jian tweaked up design from the looks of it. Looks kind of inspired a little bit from Wolong, in my personal opinion. And then Chen Gong also looks a bit different too. Oops. We're back. I don't know why it does that for window capture. It's very annoying. I'm assuming that's Liu Bei. Yeah, no, I mean, I think they said this is a ground up type game, so animations are going to look different too. Yep, so they got some. Yep, so they have more. They have finishing blows like they do in Wolong and Samurai Warriors as well. Samurai Warriors does that too if you like stun them or something like that. I feel like I get vibes from the old games and how they do this stuff. They said it's supposed to be like a different type of combat, but it just looks about the same as the older games. With how he's like able to do like different like strong attacks. Yeah, they did say it would be more crucial to block and charge. Damn, dude, if that is supposed to be Liu Bei, younger Liu Bei, I saw from that side picture there, where they're talking, that's just gonna... he looks fucking hot. Just seeing all the hang on, I gotta see that again. Just seeing all the soldiers just running by like that. That is such a great idea to just let us see this view real quick. Look at the amount of soldiers. It's crazy. Yeah, they definitely skip a lot of this battle, I think, unfortunately, which, again, does kind of suck, because I would like to just see the whole battle. It's one stage. They can at least treat us to one stage. Another shot of Yuan Shao. Actually, is there anybody else in that shot? Let's see. No, so far it just looks like your character and Yuan Shao at the moment. I think it's just the same people that they showed in the War Council room. Every man can't be hot? How fucking dare you? I see generic dude 1, 2, 3. The smoke kick up is a nice touch too. Yeah. You can kind of see Zhao Yun. Where? Where do you see? Who the fuck was that next to him? Backing up. If you need to look at the time, it shows right there at the bottom. Tell me where. Waiting. Who are these guys on the left here? Oh my god, all of them got fucking rallied. What the fuck? There's a lot more people here than I thought. If we had tried to run this old gen consoles like PS4 would literally shit itself, it really would. Looks like they have like a new design. I don't know if it's for generics. If you look over on the left on the bottom, oh, I know on the top too. There is a new generic officer look. I think maybe all these look pretty different. But yeah, it looks like we do. So from the time being, it looks like we're going to be having a combination, unless they're just placeholders, which when it comes to generic designs, I'm fine with them reusing old ones. It would be great to see how the old ones look in newer graphics and everything. So I'm cool with that. But it does look like they did include some more generic officer designs, which is really cool. Unless those are just soldiers, I don't know. But I'm assuming those are officer designs. So we have Xiahou Dun over there on the right. So bro got his cape back after he had it lasted 3, I think. 6 games later, he's got his cape back. Should be 11:40. All right, I'm going back. Let's see. You're gonna have to point them out for me because I will not be paying attention, or I will be paying attention, but I won't see it that well. All right, 11:40. If you can point out where he is in this clusterfuck, be my guest. I can't see shit in this clusterfuck right now, and this is at the highest quality too. I can't see a damn thing. Oh, he's on a horse. Odd. We have somebody. Okay, so we're gonna here. We'll see if we can slow this down. Slow that down as much as possible, and I'm gonna that so it doesn't. Otherwise, it'll sound like that, and it'll sound like crap. All right. So there's somebody right there and right there, both rocking yellow. To be fair, maybe some of these guys will be able to see. Maybe some of these guys will be able to have different colored designs. Maybe. They are, in fact, going to be giving us different things. I think this one right here is Yuan Shao. Who's this? Oh, there is somebody right here. Oh, no, that's Xiahou Dun. That's Xiahou Dun. I think that's Cao Cao right there. Yeah, the one with the blue cape and silver shoulder is shoulder guard is Xiahou Dun right here. I think you can see the Paul Dao, I think. This is Cao Cao here. But we haven't gotten 11:40 yet, so we can keep going. Yeah, that's them. Okay. There is somebody in the back, but I can't really see him that well. Taco Tenjin, thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Get some good night's sleep. There is somebody with a spear in the back, like right over here. There's somebody with a spear right back there, but I can't get a good view on them. I need enhancements. The huge club that Sutsu or Generic is using. Dude, this is just a really cool looking clusterfuck. Somebody right here too. I mean, obviously you can always just look at where the health bars are and you'll see probably like officers. Is that Gonsun Zan? Oh. True, he would be. Yeah, he would be on horseback as well. With a white horse, that's literally his gimmick. Who's got this health bar right here? Who? Oh, I think it's Dian Wei. I just saw his bald head just popping out every once in a while. Yeah, that's Dian Wei. I'm pretty sure that's Dian Wei. There's somebody right here, too, that I can't see that well. It is Gonsun's on? Okay. There's somebody else on horseback, I think, right back there, but I think he's wielding a sword. And he's on a brown horse, and Zhao Yun usually wears a white horse, or is on top of a white horse. Alright. Oh, yeah, Liu Bei, yeah. What about these guys coming up? Nope, too far. Dude, just look at how... Look at all these fucking soldiers. It's crazy. Also, yeah, I saw the big dude with the club, yeah. Oh, that's like damn near impossible for me to see that shit. There's two people right here, too. I can't see who they are. Very blurry. Just with all the dust of all the soldiers running by. Okay. Yeah, a lot of generics started using those stuff. Oh, wait, hold on. Who did we run past here? Right there on the left. Is that Li Dian? Big ass dude right here to the left. Who is this? That is a big fucking dude on the left. Oh, I think it's... Is that Yu Jin over here on the right side, I think? Yep, there's Yu Jin. Oh, no, he's rocking a regular spear. Oh, that's weird. And I think from the scarf, this is Li Dian. Yeah, it's Li Dian using a, Yeah, no, God bless, there are names on screen. Jesus. Oh, have we ever actually got a proper look at Zhong Fei yet? That probably was Zhong Fei, yeah. I don't know, I did see some of these characters look really big. There's Yuan Shu. The Hodun right there on the right. Hearing Wall of Fate, again, is so cool in a remix. I always thought it was such a goated design. Yo! An officer being able to do that is pretty cool. Hello? Did he just look fucking massive? Hold on. How big is this guy coming up? He looked big on my end. He's huge! Bro! That guy's huge! That's gotta be Hua Xiong, right? Oh. One fucking... I don't know if it's based off perspective, but your guy looks like a dwarf compared to this guy. Dude, he looks massive! Oh my god, that is crazy. Yeah, it's definitely Hua Xiong. That's great. He's so big! Like, bigger than usual! Looks like a giant! Seeing him do that, though, to start off was really cool, though. Hua Xiong's massive. Yeah, he is a giant! Oh, I don't know what he triggered there. Maybe a tactic or something, or maybe telling people to round up over there, maybe? He's been home training 6 games ago. Good at identifying characters, not being able to read the game on their... Oh, is that the Japanese name? Or which language is this? I know they were doing a lot of Chinese dubbing, but I don't know if it's... Oh! Oh, Joshu! There's Joshu there. Chinese dub? Okay. I'll simplify Chinese, okay. Hey, there's Joshu. Get a little portrait of him, at least. Pretty neat. Oh. Okay, I thought my thing was... I thought my internet was breaking. I'm like, no, please. Let me at least finish the stream first. Yeah, so I think that portrait's supposed to be Li Jue, unless there's more generics that look like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's it. So we even got a little portrait of Joshu. I don't know if he showed up anywhere else, but we did get at least see a little portrait of him. I don't remember if he was in the first thing or not, but yeah, so far gameplay wise, it looks pretty sick. Pretty sick. Don't lie. But yeah, there was just some news there that just didn't really get me. It didn't really get me too good, and I was kind of upset about it. But you know, at the end of the day, I think that is still a great shot there of that one. I love that one. But all in all, yeah, I think character designs are looking pretty okay so far. Looks like a lot of them are getting some pretty good new designs, or at least some tweaks to their designs. Looks like some people maybe are just having placeholders, or if they're just going to be fully sticking with that design, I'm not entirely sure. But all in all, not too shabby in terms of the gameplay. I really need to see a bit more of it, like more in depth than just them cutting every once in a while to something different. Like I would love to see just how a full-fledged battle looks. But unfortunately, we just haven't really been able to see that. I love that right there. That's so cool. But we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, we just don't know 100% of what's going to be happening. But it's definitely going to be a more storytelling, cinematic adventure for the most part, from the looks of it so far. So we're going to be getting a little bit of a step back from some other things that we're probably used to. But we're still at least getting the 1 versus 1,000. Looks like we're still going to be getting some crazy big moves. It really is unfortunate, though, that we're not going to be able to get a custom character out of this. That's my biggest gripe, and potentially not really being able to like play as the cast itself, aside from like if they're relevant enough to be in the battle, that'll be when they're there to be able to play played as for like a temporary time limit, I guess. But and the fact that they said that there's going to be some female characters as well that's going to be sitting on the side, which is also kind of whack. But everything looks pretty good in terms of the gameplay. Can't really complain. But again, they did a lot of cuts on it to where I want to be able to see a full battle. If they do that, I can really be able to give a full like view on how everything looks. A nice little breakdown and everything too of stuff would be really good too on like how the combat really is, because the explanation wasn't really enough for me to fully grasp it. So I would love to be able to get a full gameplay thing, learn how things work and all that. See who else is going to be in the game. There's still so much to consider first before I can say like, yeah, this looks great, or because I will say it looks great, but the things I'm hearing, it's making me think differently. So hopefully we get some other news that'll make up for the previous news that we got. Some things were pretty good from it. Other things weren't so great. Yeah, we need more trailers. We need more gameplay showing off. This was at least nice to wet the whistle with, but some of it wasn't really great news. But the guy was very adamant on keeping the way things are right now, so hopefully for better or worse. If it ends up not going well, hopefully it's a learning experience. If this ends up being an absolute like fucking banger, then hey, kudos to him. He knew the right things to do. But as of right now, I'm a little again, I think I'll be excited to actually play the game, but there are just gonna be some like factors of the game itself that I'm like kind of like not optimistic about. So I'll go in and say like my excitement levels aren't as high as they used to be when we first saw the trailer, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, because there still needs to be so much more. So I won't give a definitive like it's great or it sucks. I don't know, but as of right now, I'm kind of just like worrisomely optimistic, if that even makes sense. I'm still cautious. I'm cautiously, worrisomely optimistic. I'm cautious. I'm a little worried, but I still have some optimism that it'll be a pretty fun experience. New things, including like with like tactical stuff and everything too, looks pretty cool from what we've seen in both this and the trailer. Looks pretty interesting. Just the whole cinematic thing going on too. I mean, yeah, it's cautious, but I'm also worried at the same time that it's going to not pan out too well, just because there are some things going off of what I've seen with chat, some other things that I've heard. It just makes it feel like I'm a little worried that this game won't live up to the hype that it feels like it's trying to build up to. But again, yeah, that's a great point. Dynasty Warriors 9's trailer was pretty awesome until the game actually got released, and then it turned out to be a piece of shit. But even things like this, like look at this, like it's so much more. This is just supposed to be like a cutscene, and it's more cinematic. Like the guy is running around so like fluidly and everything, so smooth. Having like an actual unique animation for the cutscene just to pan back over to your character, like it looks good. I like it. I'm liking that a lot more, because usually they have more snappy-ish animations for cutscenes like that. This one, he just feels like so smooth and fluent, and I'm liking that so far. I'm liking these little things here. But as of right now, like I said, cautious, worried, and optimistic. But visually the game looks amazing. I think it looks great. But just because it looks great doesn't mean it's actually going to be great. Again, we can go off of Dynasty Warriors 6 and 9 for that one. They can look great, but when it actually releases, it could be really awful. So, I don't know. Right now, what I'm at right now is like, is this just going to be kind of feeling like another SW5 thing where like it's cool, but it could have been so much more type deal. I'm hoping it doesn't go to that route where it's just like, oh, it looks so great and it was pretty fun, but like, wow, they could have done so much more with it to make it even better. But it just, right now, it looks like they're just trying to go a different route with it, experiment more, where they try to get more people into the community and everything to get them more interested in playing the games. Just get a whole new audience, as well as trying to keep the old audience to some degree. But even still, it's like, you're kind of still hurting your current audience a bit as well. Because just seeing the feedback that when I was reading through that stuff, it was like, yeah, no, I completely see why a lot of people are feeling that way. And it's like, something, you either got to give some more better news than what you gave, because that definitely was a bit of a blow to a lot of people's excitement. With not being able to make a characters not even really be able to play with that much. Like, you only be really able to play with someone temporarily, which is kind of whack. But, and only making it to where the main character is the priority. If you were able to make the character, like create and edit the character, change stuff with the character, yeah, I think that'd be perfectly fine. I'd be like, sure. Like, they're going a Wolong way, but Wolong was fun. They made it still really enjoyable, and that works out fine. But now they're making it to where you can't even customize the character, really. You can give them probably different weapons, which is fine. Cool, I expected the weapon swap to still be in, and I'm fine that I'm kind of happy that it still is. You should always be able to have that freedom. Not really a big deal if someone doesn't end up being able to, like there should be no problem with having freedom of choice of weapons. No one should really get angry at that, personally. But it just varies for me. There's some things that I'm excited with, and there's some things that kind of killed my excitement a bit too. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, everybody, I think we're gonna be finishing it up here for today. I still gotta get packing and everything for the beach. I don't even know what I'm gonna be bringing. Probably aside from like a console and just some clothes and my own personal pillow, because it's great. But I'm gonna at least just try to get everything set up for there and see where we go from that. Yeah, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning into today's stream. Let me know, especially you VOD watchers, let me know down below how you guys are feeling about it. If you guys want to discuss it further with like me and some others in the community, we do have a Discord server. It is in the description. You can go ahead and check it out. Please go ahead and sub to the people who gave the gameplay stuff. WildcatWeather, they're one who dropped gameplay, and BlackKite as well. Be sure to go check them out on Twitter as well. Go give them a follow if you are able. But leave your thoughts down below. If you want to share more thoughts on Discord and everything too, you're more than welcome to do that. Like I said, it's in the description. And if someone is watching this, or watching this now, or watching it later, and you've not done so yet, and you want to support your boy further, and if you want to hit that sub button, hit the subscribe button. We are trying to hit 10K subs on the channel. And of course, if you do enjoy this, and if you're excited for Dynasty Warriors Origins, regardless of all the news and everything, or if you're excited for everything that you've heard so far, hit the like button, or if you just enjoyed the stream as well, be sure to hit that like button. And of course, I kind of went really wacky with my outro there. I also stream on twitch.tv/LightyVT. Check me out over there as well. Give me a follow over there. We are trying to hit 1K followers over there as well. And you could also hit the join button and be a member of the channel on YouTube. You could get some early access to videos when I start uploading them, and get a nice cool badge and emotes as well. But with that being said, chat, lurkers, those of you who watch later, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day and or evening. I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Farewell.